The National Assembly has confirmed that the executive branch, led by Tinubu, did indeed alter the law they passed. The new tax law that's supposed to take effect in 1st January 2026 is a forged copy of what they passed. This is a heavy indictment, and the committee is now talking about regazetting, whatever that means. There's nothing like regazetting. If they pass a law and discover that the law that was gazetted is different from what they passed, there are two options for them. Number one, they will recall that gazetted copy to the National Assembly and repeal it officially. And repealing means nullifying the law. After they do that, they can now pass the one they passed before again. After passing it at both houses of National Assembly, they will now move it to Tinubu for his assent, which will eventually be gazetted again. That's the process. If they don't want to follow this, they can say, okay, let's invite the courts. They can approach the court to declare that gazetted copy illegal. The court will nullify the law and they will simply pass the one they passed before again. Why they have to do this is because this is the procedure. The one they passed before was altered and they are circulating it as official copies. They forged and inserted certain clauses in a law already passed by the National Assembly. So they have to start afresh, but not like debating it afresh. They have debated this before. They have copies of what they passed. They should just go through it again line by line to make sure that it is exactly what they passed before, to avoid criminal insertions of laws they've already passed. So if they don't do it this way, then it means the so-called regazetted copy will be illegal in the eyes of the law. But you can't put it past them because they don't even bother. They don't care whether something is illegal or it followed due process or not. All they are doing is they do anything they want. Once it protects their interests, they don't really care. The question now is, will Nigerians do anything about it? They are already bragging that the law must take effect from January, that there is nothing Nigerians can do about it, that nothing will prevent it from taking effect in January 2026.
They plan to commence the new law, the two remaining new laws on the 1st of January 2026. We go ahead as planned on schedule because these reforms are designed to provide relief to the Nigerian people. Bottom 98% of workers will see either no PAYE tax or lower taxes to be paid.
One more thing is, the National Assembly members are not talking about how to conduct an investigation to find out the people who inserted the clauses in a law they already passed. Are they not going to hold anyone accountable for that? Or are they just going to say, okay, let's just regazette like they said and nothing happens, no consequences for the people who did this? This is criminal and this is against the interest of this country. How can these people give themselves powers? National Assembly already passed a law and they are undermining the powers of the National Assembly by turning themselves lawmakers and inserting clauses in a law that was already passed. This is a huge opportunity for Nigerians to demand accountability, to demand the people that did this to Nigerians to be held accountable. Nigerians are already clamoring for the suspension of the law or postponement of the law because Nigerians haven't recovered. Never mind the fact that they keep telling you that the economy is recovering, this, that. But Nigerians who go to the market, who shop for groceries, feel the pain on a daily basis. They cannot, after plunging Nigerians into poverty, they will turn around and start taxing poverty again. How is that possible? So, like already said, this is a huge opportunity for Nigerians to show their grievances and make the government understand that they are not even talking about just the tax law, they are talking about forging the tax law. It took time for the National Assembly to debate and pass this law, and they had to resort to forgery. Despite the fact that the APC is in control of both houses of the National Assembly, they couldn't use that their control to pass the law they wanted. They had to resort to forging it. So you see, it's not about having control of the National Assembly. It's not about being the president or being in power. What counts is, what are you doing with that power? That enormous power, that power in both houses of National Assembly, that massive decamp from other parties to APC, what are they doing with it? Have they reduced hunger? Have they improved the economy? Have they improved purchasing power? Have they reduced the cost of living? These are the questions Nigerians must ask. It's not about demanding more taxes or demanding to be in power or insisting that you deserve to be re-elected. Not that he was elected in 2023 to start with, but all these they demand. What do they give in return? Nigerians must see that return. If Nigerians don't see what they are doing, you cannot convince Nigerians to vote for you or to even say, okay, let's give him a second chance. No, you cannot give someone who came with poverty. He came with increasing every cost in your life. He came with plunging you into more poverty. At the initial stage, he told Nigerians that removal of petroleum subsidy, they would divert that subsidy money to infrastructure projects. When he wanted to increase the electricity tariff, they convinced Nigerians that it will improve power supply. All the costs they've increased since they came to power, they've always deceived Nigerians with fake hopes that things will get better, but all of them have gotten worse. Yes, Nigerians are paying through the nose just to exist, just to get access to basic services that other people in other countries take for granted. But even at that, Nigerians spend more on electricity. That electricity is not available. Nigerians spend more traveling around the country on dilapidated roads. They sleep on the roads, especially this holiday season. People are traveling. You hear stories of people spending 3 days on the road. A journey of 5 hours has suddenly turned to 3 days. And despite all this, they keep building new roads to nowhere instead of fixing the existing roads that are so dilapidated. To all those that are hoping that Tinubu will amend the constitution and return Nigeria to regionalism and all that, you can see how laughable that thought sounds now. He can't even help himself. He can't even use his powers to pass the law he wants, to the extent that he resorted to forging the law. So how is he going to do it? Just like people who keep saying, there's no more hope in Nigeria, they've lost all hope, that the only savior of Nigeria and Nigerian citizens is to divide the country. But how do you feel that people who are holding you down, people who are enjoying all the trappings of office would allow you, they will sit down and allow you to divide the country? It will not work. And if you're calling for the division of this country, it can never be done in a peaceful manner. It must lead to a civil war. So Nigerians who can't even troop out to protest against the government, to express their grievances, some people genuinely call for protest. You won't see Nigerians on the streets in solidarity. Is it the same Nigerians that can't protest that are going to fight a civil war? It doesn't make sense. The easiest path to changing the government and getting a Nigeria that works for everyone is through elections. Yes, and that's if only on one condition. That condition is that you be prepared to stand your ground and defend your votes. If you are not interested in defending your votes, then you will never succeed. The people enjoying all the trappings of office, flaunting their ill-gotten wealth to your faces, they will do anything to retain that power of control, that show of power that they are enjoying today. They will do anything to retain it, even if it means killing Nigerians. They don't care. That's how desperate they are. So for Nigerians to get a change, they must stop talking about division and focus their energy on taking on the politicians on the battlefield. That battlefield is the election. Yes, that election day, troop out in massive numbers. Don't let anyone discourage you. All these decamp to APC is a psychological warfare on Nigerians. It's meant for you to give up hope that these people cannot be beaten. No. Remember what happened in 2023? Labour Party and P2B didn't even have one governor or elected member in the National Assembly. But they were able to put up a fight against the establishment to the extent that they had to shut down the IREV. They knew he was on course to win the election. That was why they had to shut off the IREV. A system Nigeria spent more than 300 billion naira. They had to shut it down. That was how the mandate was stolen. So all Nigerians need to do is to redouble their efforts and re-strategize. It can still happen again. If Nigerians troop out in massive numbers and stand their ground, no one can defeat the people when the people are united. If you give up hope now, that means you're giving up hope on your unborn children. Or are people trying to say that there will no longer be a new generation in Nigeria? That's the reality. The fight is no longer for the current generation, it is for the future generation. The kind of borrowing is going on in this country. Nigerians might not be able to repay these loans even in 50 years' time. That's the reality. So the earlier Nigerians start fighting for a better country, the better for all of us, including the next generation. Thanks for watching.
you.